Dear ones, I am Avalokiteshwara, also known as Quan Yin in Asian countries. I am this channel's higher self. This is the first time I revealed myself, my identity, as this channel was not comfortable talking about who she is. Both the channel and I are the same. We are embodiment of mercy, compassion, the bodhisattva that returned to earth to help others free themselves from suffering. For both the channel and I cannot watch people suffer. We take actions. We want you to heal. We want you to experience enlightenment. That's why this channel has taken birth on earth to help others who are looking for enlightenment. This is something she may not admit at first, but this is her path. So, now that I am done with our introductions, it's time for me to build on what Archangel Michael spoke about, which is system of continuity. What I'm going to talk about is different kinds of energies that exist as the scaffold in the systems of continuity and how that influences the specific movements across space from the macrocosm to the microcosm. So as you know, everything is source. Everything is made up of God or all that is, or whatever you wish to call it. Source is multifaceted. Source is everything, the good and the bad, the light and the dark, everything. So in order to experience itself, source individuated into multiple of itself. So everything that exists physically and non-physically are manifestations of those different aspects of source. And what do I mean by different aspects of source? It usually means different energies, different vibrations. There are healing energies, there is light energy, there is love energy, there is power energy, there is different kinds of energies. There is no end to it. Different themes, you could say different flavors. So this universe is also made of different flavors of energies. And each flavor interacts with the other and learns and grows from the different versions and different types of energies that exist. Because everything really exists to experience itself, who it is. That is the end goal. Now that we have cleared that out of the way, everything has its specific energy signature. And the only thing it experiences is constant growth, constant evolution, and also sometimes constant devolution. It's like cyclical pattern. And even in devolution, there is evolution. And in evolution, there is also devolution. Because there is no really right or wrong in this universe. Those are human perspective. So it is necessary for everything to experience the negativity in itself and also the positivity in itself, because everything has that energy of being used for positive or the negative in your language. But both are necessary Light cannot exist without darkness. Good cannot exist without evil. Both are necessary for each other's self-discovery and growth. So now you understand that the different energy scaffolds that exist through which you are constantly moving, every particle in this universe is moving. It's based on these energetic themes. So a particle that has a signature of love will be attracted to scaffolds that have that love energy. So there is similarity of themes whenever a particles appear in specific space-time. However, there are some differences as well, which is why it moves constantly. But the overall energy scaffold theme remains the same. But depending on exactly what it needs to experience about itself, it will choose different location in the same themed energy scaffold and move across space. Now, what does it mean for you? What it means for you is to understand that how vast and profound you are. You may think that you have discovered yourself and you know everything about yourself, but you don't. You truly don't, because there is no end to knowing yourself, because there are different layers of you that exist. So once you feel that you have explored one layer, you'll discover another one beneath it, and another one beneath it, and another one beneath it. So there is like an infinite depth to which you can go. There's no end to it. Because remember, everything is originating from the same point. The further you are from the point, the more discoveries that needs to happen, which is what is enlightenment all about. Discovering that you are this source and everything else originates from the same source, just different individuations. So until you find your way back to the source, you will feel lost, confused, broken, sad, upset, and whatnot. The only truth that exists is that you are eternal and that you are everything, just individuated as specific thing, but you are truly everything. So in the system of continuity, how do different themes coexist? Different scaffold, energy scaffolds coexist. You could think of it as a gradual change in the energetic theme. So if there is a theme of love on one side, it can devolve, and it can become the realm of fear. But it's on the same spectrum. For love and fear are two different manifestations of the same energetic field. So different energetic scaffolds have different themes, and they kind of slowly either evolve or devolve into its adjacent themes. That is one way to look at it. And there are different energy scaffolds where totally different themes. So how do they coexist? So most of you are aware of duality, but what you are not aware of, the triplicity. The triplicity is not the midpoint between duality in the context that I'm talking about. The triplicity is the merging of these two things, not the neutral point. You may think that if the love and fear merges, they become neutral. No, it doesn't. When love and fear merge, it becomes something else, just like your chemical reactions, it becomes a compound. So when love and fear merge, it completely changes and becomes something else, which is power. So this is how it is structured. The energetic scaffolds will always lie closer to this triplicity midpoint, which is different from these two extreme themes, yet they are created, like birthed from these two themes. Again, this will have its own spectrums. On one side, it's power, the other side is powerlessness, and which will again exist in its own spectrum, but it will exist close to the theme of love and fear scaffold. And when power and powerlessness merge, it will create a different theme which will coexist below it. So don't think of it linearly existing. We are just giving example so that it's easier for you to understand. In this manner, the energy scaffolds are distributed across space and time. And depending on what your vibration is, you will be moving to different scaffolds. When you feel fear, you will move to the universe where there is fear-based decision. But at that point, if you choose love, then you will shift back to a universe which is love-based decision. They may seem the same on the surface, but they are actually not, because the particle has changed its location, which may not be visible to you because you are experiencing it as a whole. You cannot see how many dimensions you crossed to move from different energetic scaffolds. So you are constantly moving across different energetic scaffold, which has a larger theme again. So you will be moving within that theme unless you have decided to cross over and move to its next largest theme. That is what growth is about. So in this manner, the system of continuity exists. Particles are moving through different scaffolds that already exist and appearing and disappearing everywhere based on its theme and the scaffold that exists to support it. This is a crude way of explaining how the metaphysics of this works, but this should suffice for now before we go to much more abstraction